Okay, we need to talk about the hallmarks of a professional tripod. Very important. You're going to be tempted to buy these really cheap, stupid little tripods from Walmart that run like 30 or 40 bucks. Don't do it, because that 30 or 40 dollars can be put towards one of these. And I've seen some of them pretty cheap now for like $200 or $300. This is the CX Pro series from Bogan Monfrotto, and it is carbon fiber. So there's a few things you need to look at when you're buying a tripod. So a really good professional tripod will let you take the head off. This is the top, it's also called the head. The head is what you're going to attach the camera to. We'll be talking more about these in a second. So this is what you're buying when you're buying a good pair of tripod legs. You're going to consider what it is made out of. If it's steel or aluminum, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be really heavy, and when you're hiking around, it's going to be a pain in the butt. Also, the number of sections is really important. This is a 3-section tripod, but they also have 4 and 5-section tripods, which are going to collapse very, very small and to fit into your luggage or your backpack, which makes it super convenient. The head is secured with 3 little screws on the bottom. So if you have a standard screwdriver, small standard screwdriver, you'll be able to lock it into position. Good tripod will have a bubble level to tell you when you're on flat ground. There are varying opinions on whether or not this is a good thing or not. The center post, I like it because it allows you to raise or lower the camera higher. Some people don't like them because they increase the amount of vibration in the tripod. Another good thing about the legs is the legs self-lock like that, but if you need to get low to the ground, you can push them in and extend them out like that. You're probably wondering, what are you going to do with the center posts when all the legs are kind of up like this? The center posts will raise up, and you can tilt it sideways, so you can really get this thing low to the ground. That's how it configures when you're putting it low to the ground. Let's talk about heads real quick. There's all kinds of heads out there. Some of them you can spend $500, $600, $700 on, and they're really nice. But this particular head I have used for, I think, 5 or 6 years now, and I spent $70 on it. It's a ball head, and a ball head works by using a little ball mechanism that you can lock down. And this is going to allow you to pretty much rotate the camera around in any position that you want, and then you lock it down. I'm not a big fan of the grip ball heads because they break, and they have a limited amount of weight that they can hold. This one will hold, I think, 14 or 15 pounds. This thing here, I'm going to show you guys how this works. The head is usually going to come with something called a shoe or a base plate that attaches either into your camera body, or if you have a very, very heavy lens, it's going to go into the lens and you want it to be on the tripod itself. I'll show you why in a second. Anyway, this clips in, and there's a lock mechanism switch here in the back. Lock this down. This guy right here, this little teeny gold switch, this will prevent me from accidentally opening it. So that switch comes over, and then you can take it off. So the ball head's great because if you're on uneven ground, you can still lock it down like this. You can quickly go to a portrait mode like this. And it's a really quick, easy way to lock your camera down. I mean, I think these are the way to go. It's really hot out here. Anyway, I wanted to demonstrate one reason why you might need a tripod. And I actually have a video on YouTube that has tons of different other examples, but it's daytime, so we have plenty of light. But we're shooting a picture of a river, or a little stream here, and I want to get a really misty, kind of a flowy type look. The only way you can do that is with a very long shutter speed, like maybe a second, maybe 1.5 seconds. It's pretty much impossible to hold a camera still in your hands for that long, and that's the reason why you need a tripod. You have to be able to put your camera on a tripod to do a shot like this. So if I take a regular picture, you'll see it's kind of boring, kind of plain looking. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. All these rocks are dry. I'm going to get these rocks wet. I think it's more interesting if they're wet. And the next thing I'm going to do is slow my shutter speed way down. Let's see, we're going to go manual. I'm also going to put it on a timer so I don't shake the camera. So this is at half a second. Okay, it's pretty interesting. Another thing that you're going to notice is we get a lot of reflection off the rocks. I have on the front of my lens called a polarizer. I'll be talking about that in a minute. But that's going to help me cut those reflections down so we can see through the water. Just kind of get it to where I like it. Kind of get everything dialed in. The polarizer is also going to help cut down on light. And I'm going to go on a raw for this one. So it's all set up. We're at half a second, f22, ISO of 50 with a polarizer. Okay, so it's not a bad picture. In any event, that's one reason why you're going to need a tripod. This little accessory I wanted to show you guys is really cool because it saves me from having to carry a full-size tripod in my car. It's a mini tripod or a tabletop tripod. They run about $25 to $30 and they're great, especially here on Maui, because sometimes I'll be driving along and you'll see whales jumping out of the water and I want to take pictures with them, but I don't have my tripod with me. It allows me to use my car as almost like a tripod. So I have my 100 to 400 millimeter lens. And the way this works is you just essentially screw this in here like this, lock that down. And it essentially gives me a shooting platform from the top of my car. It depends on what you're trying to do, but you can do time shots and stuff like that. But if I'm shooting out here, I can just come up here like this and essentially just shoot away. That's the thing, is when you're shooting very long distances, the vibrations come more into play, so you want it to be as stable as possible. So if you are using your car, try not to lean on the car too much, and if you are, just don't be bouncing around on it. It helps to have one tripod leg. Here, I'll just pull this off. It actually has a suction cup on here. One tripod leg should be in the direction of the lens, especially if you have a heavy lens. You want it kind of lined up like this. If you do any macro type work, it's also great if you're shooting on a table, because you can't set up a big tripod on the table, and so it's really nice if you do macro, or if you want to have a tripod in your car where you can use your car as a means of stabilization. So that is the mini tripod. It runs about $25 or $30. This one's from Slick, and you can order it from B&H. As always, on all my videos, I just want to say thank you so much for purchasing the video, and especially to those of you who may have illegally downloaded this. I want you guys to know that you're really hurting my business, and it's just like stealing somebody's photography. If you like the video and you want to support what I'm doing, please go to my store at www.michaelthementor.com/store and please purchase your own copy. When you do so, it allows me to continue making great training videos, and I'll do it as long as I can, so your support is definitely appreciated.